Hello, hello. Let's make sure we have everything going live all at the same time. All right, I think we are perfect. Hey everyone, whether you're joining me from Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, thank you and welcome. I'm Marie Oslebo, founder of Tech Savvy Nurse. I help nurses and professionals build real Microsoft Office skills so your work actually makes sense, saves time, saves frustration, and gets taken seriously. And tonight, it's going to be a little bit different. So it's not going to be a full training. Okay. I'm going to show you why Word or Excel can look, quote, fine, but still gets, questioned, or what most people don't realize they're doing. So before I jump in, if you are here live, say live in the chat and tell me, is Word or Excel, which one gives you more trouble? Because I know sometimes Excel can be a real pain and it can be hard to kind of make it fit what you're needing it to do. And a lot of people struggle. But then again, Word does too, because you think your document looks fantastic, and it probably does, but it could probably use some massaging to make it look a little bit better. So here's what most people think, right? I must have done something wrong. I need to just learn more about Excel, or I need to learn more about Word, or I just need to practice more. But that's usually not it entirely, right? So, what's actually happening is this: the work that you're doing isn't being communicated effectively or clearly, right? And when something isn't immediately clear when you pick it up and look at it, people pause. People kind of look at it and go, what am I supposed to understand from looking at this document or this chart? What is the information that you're presenting to me supposed to say to me, right? So that pause turns into questions, corrections, or gets sent back and say, try again. Been there, done that. And it's not because you're not capable, okay? Hear me on this. It's because you weren't taught how to use the tools most effectively and to make your documents and your Excel sheets wow them, right? You weren't taught. We all know this. Um, so, this is a mini reset for you, right? We're just going to take a step back and say, I wasn't taught this. And how am I supposed to know how to do this if I wasn't given the proper tools to know how to do this? So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you the best way to use Microsoft Office so that you can wow your leadership, your managers, your coworkers, and maybe say, hey, look what I can do. And that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And that's going to put you in the minds of others that say, oh, Marie knows how to do this. Maybe I'll ask her for some help. So think of that as you're creating the stuff that you need to create on a daily basis for your team, right? So I'm going to do a quick screen share and show you what I'm talking about, okay? Like I said, it's not going to be a full-on training, but it is a quick screen share. So let me make sure I get the right file. And yep, so this one, right? You've seen this before, especially if you followed me. This is kind of my default. Let me show you what you're doing and show you how you could make it a little better, right? So this looks fairly well, right? I mean, you got some bold, you got the text there, you got some table stuff going on down here, I think, right? Because everything's kind of lined up for the most part. Looks pretty good. Yeah, but you notice that this is not really in the center. It's kind of just there. And if you go down here, this really isn't in the center. Now let me show you a trick. If you use your paragraph markings icon, you can see that the space bar was used. That's what these little dots are. The space bar was used to try to align all of this information, right? So if someone changes margins or spacing or anything like that, it can really mess this up, okay? Trust me, I've seen it happen. I've done it myself long before I learned to use tables and tabs, okay? And to make a table or a tab is really simple, right? So you can insert a table and you can tell it how many columns and how many rows you want. It's that simple. And then you just fill in the data, right? You can add tabs, and over here you'll see that if I click on this, it's going to change it to a center tab. That just means the alignment, how the text is going to align to that tab. And then, a right, you have a decimal, and then you have a bar. So there are different ways that you can align your tabs. So if I put a tab here, everything that my line is on, and I don't even know where my cursor is. Oh, I'm right here with Sally Great, right? So if I were to click on my tab from here, you would see that it's going to align with this, right? And if I give it a couple of more breaks, you'll see that it's trying to align to that tab, right? So if I slide this down a little bit, you'll see that my tab is with the beginning of S and Sally, right? And if I were to do a center tab, and we'll say the center tab is going to be here on that same line of Sally Great, if I just hit my tab key, it's now going to align in the center, right? And the first tab didn't take because I've got tabs, I've got spaces here, so it's thinking it's all one. It's not realizing that that should be on the next one. So this is why I really encourage you to learn how to use tabs and tables with your data, okay? And even trying to center information on your pages. Don't use a space bar to try to center it in the page. Remove those, go up to your home and click the center. And that's going to put you in the center of your page. Every single time it's going to put you in the center of the page, no questions. So these are helpful tips that you can use to make your data appear better for the users that are reading the documents and the charts that you're providing them. Okay, it's important because if you do not have clear data to the people that need the data, it makes it harder for them and it makes it harder for you. So it's important that you learn how to use these tools efficiently, effectively, and time-wise, right? Because this can take you a long time to set up, but it may not be what the leadership wants. Okay? All right. Enough of sharing. There we go. All right. So one thing that I want you to take home from this, right, is just try one thing, whether it's making sure your fonts are consistent, making sure you're either using tabs or a table when you're trying to align information on your page, okay? Or try to think of what is the end result of this document that I'm trying to give leadership, right? If I'm trying to give them a document of we need 12 more staff because of XYZ, you need to lay that out in a format that is going to be easily read and not using a bunch of spaces to align data, right? You want it to be powerful and using fonts, whether the size or the color or the letters, right? Because you've got different style fonts that can speak volumes. So right now, I want you to think about your most recent document that you could improve upon. Maybe you've already submitted it, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But take that document or take that Excel table and see if you can modify it so that it's more consistent and really flows easier on your eyes. Because if it makes it harder on you to kind of read it, even after you've created it, it really can make it hard on someone else who has no clue what you're trying to give them. Okay? All right. Now, if this sounds familiar and your work looks, quote, fine, but it still gets questioned and you're not really sure why, I can help you figure that out. Okay? Not with a generic example like I showed you tonight. I can help you with your actual document or spreadsheet. Doesn't matter. So if you want help, comment fix. We'll set up a chat time and we can walk through and I can show you something that will help you retain that information to be able to use it on this document that you show me and your next document and the one after that and the one after that. So comment fix or send me a DM that says fix in it, and I will walk you through what it could look like. Okay? Thank you so much for being here tonight, wherever you have joined from. And remember, every small skill you learn really builds up. Some days it's very easy, other days it's very clunky. I know, but every step matters. Okay. And if you want more support, I have a free community where I break this down step by step in a simple way. It is the Tech Savvy Nurse Facebook community. And again, if you want some help, send me a DM, says fix, and we will start there. Until then, I will see you next time.